Do you ever wish that you had a non-tech way that you could support your children as they are learning advanced math concepts? Well, I have a fun answer for you, and that is these wonderful Usborne math books. I'm going to show you the ones that we have been using in our home and homeschool because I just think they're super awesome and they have been very helpful to us. We used 2 of them last year, and I'll show you which ones they were, and they were so successful that I added several more titles to our collection for this year, and I'm just super excited about it. Okay, so I'm going to start with the younger math student, and so this was for my kindergartner last year. Count to 100 book is just absolutely beautiful. I love the illustrations, and they're the thick board book type pages, so it can be looked through over and over and over again, and you're not worried about pages ripping. I love that illustration. Isn't that darling? It's great to practice counting and working your way up to, or your child working his or her way up to counting to 100 and learning to count into groups. I love this page. I think that's pretty awesome. See how on the clouds it says add these drops? So you're actually counting into little groups. You're grouping your numbers as you're getting up into the higher numbers. And then look at 100. It's the constellations, the stars in the sky. I just think it's fabulous. Then last year for kindergarten math, this was my daughter's, she called it her math book. Of course, it wasn't the only thing we did for math, but it was such a great supplement. She still loves going through it, and now we can work through it so easily because she knows it all. She's learned it all. It's simple addition. And these are the Lift the Flap books that we adore from Usborne. You solve the little problem up on top, and then you lift the flap to check your answer and see if it's correct. She has so enjoyed this. Whoops, this is down low. There we go. There's all the cars. I think our favorite page, we love the flowers. But our favorite page is this one, the farmer's market. Isn't that cute? So this was such a wonderful, fun, engaging, simple activity book for her this year as we learned simple addition. And then we're going to move up to this book this year. Now I will say I am actually going to give this book to my 4th grader and have her do some reviewing with it because it's actually quite advanced at the end. It starts simple, small numbers and fact families, and it goes into number bonds and using a number line. You can see that the flaps are not popped up yet because we haven't actually used it yet. I'm so excited to use it, and I can see that this is going to be a wonderful resource, and it's going to take a long time to work through, which is good. It's not something that's just going to happen in one sitting. And then look at how advanced it gets here at the end. Let's see. It has money puzzles. This one's popped up. I think my daughter's actually looked at this one already a little bit. And then the number monster here at the end. Isn't that cute? My youngest likes monsters, so I think she'll enjoy that. How to play gives little instructions. What I'm planning on doing actually is having my older daughter work through this with my youngest daughter. Of course, I'll do it with her as well, but I think it's just going to be a fun activity book to support us as she learns higher levels of adding and subtracting. Then for my oldest daughter, my 4th grader, last year we worked on the times tables and she had to memorize her times tables, and man, oh man, this book was a lifesaver. I would give her this book and I would say, okay, work on your 2s, and you could see how these are all flapped up because she has been working on them, or she did work on them, I should say, and she would go through all of the flaps. She would go through all of the the times tables for the 2s, and she would memorize them. And then the next day I would say, okay, let's work on your 3s, and so on. And went on for a while, all the way up to 12, with cute, engaging illustrations and examples all along the way. And she used this and the wrap-up that also comes from Usborne. And it was just such a wonderful resource for her. 125 flaps to lift in this book. So I've added the fractions and decimals and the measuring things books for her for this year. And you can see we haven't really lifted them yet. But I think these, if they're anything as great as the other math books have been, I am so looking forward to using these with her. Usually with something like this, we have to go through it together at the beginning. We sit together and just work through one page, or maybe even half of a page. That's the great thing, is this book is going to actually last a while. It's not something she's just going to fly through in one sitting. Oops. Look at this. Sorting fractions. 1/4, 2/8. 1/4 is the same as 2/8. This is also a wonderful thing that can be worked through with a math tutor. If your student has a tutor, what a fun thing to do with a tutor, to say, okay, during your tutoring time today, work through one spread of this fun math book that's working on decimals and fractions and percentages. Same thing with the measuring things. Now this one I'm planning on, after working through a page together, then actually going and getting. Now I know this, let's see, I haven't done it yet. Okay, yeah, look, this ruler actually pops out. Isn't that cool? And it has the inches and the centimeters on the back. And then you can use it. But I'm planning on then doing examples of it in our home. Like, for example, whenever we do volume, getting different, kind of doing the book and then illustrating this with actual things that we have around the house. I have a scale. I'm planning on pulling out the scale whenever we do this page. So I think it'll be really fun for us to do the page together and then go play with some things that are actually what is illustrated in the book. So, as you can see, these are some really fun, engaging, non-tech, not that there's anything wrong with tech, actually, our math program is an online program, but I love the idea of being able to just sit a child down with a book and use a book as a resource to engage their minds while they're learning and practicing math skills. Thank you so much. I appreciate you watching this video. And if you have any more questions, you can find me on Instagram at Callie_Sparrow and Lilies.